Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it, and unfortunately we are again in this tragic cycle. We as human beings commemorate historical events, but seldom seem to learn anything from them. Some 80 years ago, there were a people who believed in racial and ethnic supremacy. They believed that they were entitled to whatever lands they laid a claim on. They believed that they had the right to discriminate against whomever they found undesirable, and then to ethnically cleanse them from the land by whatever means necessary. This initially happened by encouraging voluntary migration, what they called voluntary migration. Then by making people's lives a living hell. Then by imprisoning them in ghettos and concentration camps. And finally by exterminating them in mass murder campaigns. The world recognized that this was a tragedy, and rightfully so. It is a tragedy, and it shouldn't happen to anyone. That is why the world said never again. But what they actually meant, never again for specific races. Everybody else gets to suffer the same fate. Now, some 80 years later, again there is a group of people who believe in ethnic and racial supremacy. They believe that they are entitled to whatever land they lay a claim on, even though they may not have any connection to that land ever. And if so, there's no connection for thousands of years. They believe that they have the right to subjugate the inhabitants of that land who have lived on that land for thousands of years. They believe that they have the right to make those people's lives a living hell, as we can see in the West Bank through apartheid. They believe that they have the right to imprison the local populations in ghettos, like we see in Gaza. They believe that they have the right to exterminate them through bombing, indiscriminate bombing campaigns, and starvation, like we see in Gaza. They are using all the same methods that those before them used, except now they claim it's right because the perpetrator has changed and the victim has changed. If what is happening in Palestine was done to people who suffered the Holocaust, we would rightfully call it a continuation of the Holocaust, because that is exactly what it is. Never again should mean never again for any people, not just particular races. Never again to racial and ethnic supremacy should mean never again to ethnic and racial supremacy by any people, not just certain people. Nobody should get a pass for that. Never again to ethnic cleansing and terrible ghettos and exterminations like we see now in Gaza should mean never again for anybody, whether they are white, black, Jewish, Muslim, Christian, anybody. This is the lesson we're supposed to learn. But unfortunately, as our tragic history reveals, it is a lesson we never learn. Maybe one day, God willing. Peace be with you.